Let's roll, baby.
March 13, 2:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area.
Looks like we got the boot again.
With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder.
You mean the infighting between the kidnappers?
Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper.
Mars, my boy. Tell me it's true. Tell me you've really found my boy.
Yes, Mr. Romano, we found him earlier in the stadium.
Then, my little Lance is unhurt?
He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang.
Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a...
Mars, my boy, I can't thank you enough.
It was nothing.
I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him.
A letter?
Ah, the way Lance was being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, you know? Yeah, take a look for yourself.
Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? My dear Lance Romano, may I come see you again, your beloved Viola. Tender Leather Loan Company. Oh, so he's in debt. It's a very simple love letter.
Oh hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company. Tender Lender. Looks more like a collection bill to me.
Oliver. Oh, he's served me well for such a long time. What am I going to do without him? I'm afraid my money will continue to be dampened by my tears in the long nights ahead.
He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you cannot give up, Lauren. Just one more try.
Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through.
I suppose, if they were me then,
I believe you said that you are Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct?
Yes, I am, but... Oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful.
You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring?
So which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided?
Decided? Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know?
My father used to work for Mr. Romano, and so Lance and I grew up together. Gah! I said it out loud.
I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Romano Group. What did he do?
I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus.
Pegasus?
Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now, it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, he rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned.
Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of.
It's been so long, I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again. I'm so sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live!
About this incident...
Incident? Isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident.
How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped?
Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition.
You based everything on that.
I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny.
She started fantasizing again. So what are you gonna do now, Mr. Edgeworth?
We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two.
The isolation room, the crime scene, the kidnapper's hideout. The kidnapper's hideout.
The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout.
But we're still not allowed in, remember?
Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there is no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. What do you have to report?
Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir.
I ever heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside?
Sir, roger, sir.
That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you to not allow me in?
Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gunshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him.
Wow, looks like Detective Gunshoe has a following.
Furthermore, I was asked to give this document to you, sir.
What is this? The man for this picture. Isn't this Mr. Oliver Deacon?
But the name here says Colin Deveray.
That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Deveray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison.
What? And what was he doing here?
Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up for the fact that he was an escaped felon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine, let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout.
Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later.
More than thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer.
It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then, the door's been wide open, sir.
I'm not sure I follow what it is you're saying. Care to explain in a bit more detail?
Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir.
I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find.
March 13th, 2:55 p.m. Kidnapper's hideout.
So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed.
Well, you were tied up for a while in the room next door.
Kay, please. Kay, please. Must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There must be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity.
Kidnapper's hideout. Let's take a look at the dossier. Okay, Colin Deveray, male. He's right-handed. 5'8" height, 123.45 pounds. Whereabouts are known after his escape from Penn E. Dent Prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Okay. Okay, Okay.
Oh, there are barrels like these just outside.
Yes, and...
Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them?
There's an expectant gleam in her eyes, and I'm about to dash. This must be where they dispose of the old and worn-out costumes.
That's so sad.
It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces.
Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth!
It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Cheap styrofoam cups.
Looks like only 3 cups were used.
I wonder what this key is to...
You got me.
It reminds me of the key we found in the other room.
That's it. It must be the key for one of those trap doors.
That wasn't a trap door. You can only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it.
Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one?
I am not having this conversation with you. Folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers.
There are 3 chairs set around the table.
A poster of Gatewater Land is stuck in this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewater Land has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it?
Is there anything else to look at? Okay.
Beyond the store...
It's where the kidnappers held you after getting the jump on you.
Why you keep reminding me?
But it's the room where I got to see your awesome new face.
You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. A sign advertising the photo rally. Something I have absolutely no interest in.
Yeah, but I do, and I'm gonna get my hands on the rest of the Badger family, you'll see.
She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation.
Hey, there's a trap door in this room too.
It's not a trapdoor, it's an entrance to an underground passage, Kay.
I know that.
The door leading to the outside world was locked, so Lance must have escaped his prison through here. What have we here?
It looks like a sword. A broken sword.
Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Swords don't usually break on their own.
That's true.
Alright, then let's think about this in this way. Maybe it broke when someone tried to use it or on something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later.
There are 3 kidnappers.
The common denominator between the cups and the folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3.
Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers.
Indeed. Something isn't adding up. Literally. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see? The door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. I won't rest until I suspected everything is suspicious looking.
That doorknob handle thingy looks pretty beat up.
Suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force.
Hey, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent.
But how is that possible after what that officer told us?
Yeah, the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, and the lock itself should be completely wrecked.
So that lock on the door leading to the outside is undamaged. How can that be? The panel that hid the entrance to the underground is propped up and wide open. Be careful where you step, Kay.
I only fell into the other opening once, you know.
Okay. Yeah, the sword was used to barricade the door. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock, and anyone can see that it's not in use at the time.
But the policeman outside just said it took 10 men to get it open.
A door that was locked tight, despite it being not locked at all. It can only be because of this.
Oh, you mean...
Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. You see how the handle was completely destroyed?
So that's how the sword broke.
I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we only uncovered more questions that need to be answered.
Ah!
What is it?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct?
What are you doing? Suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that?
This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. We badgers also make use of it in our duties.
Look, why don't you get out of here first, and then we'll talk, okay?
I beg your pardon, miss.
Proto Badger, get! Alright, one more to go.
What are you getting all excited about?
Did you forget? The photo rally, duh! See, look, now I have all to do is get the picture of the Bad Badger and I'm done.
Ah, yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort.
What? It's gone! But where did it go?
What happened? What's wrong?
The Bad Badger costume is missing, sir.
Oh, is that all?
Well, it's missing because the kidnappers.
Was missing because the kidnappers stole it.
I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken.
What? Is he saying that no more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell me a little bit more about the costumes you use. Tell me, as I slowly approach your face, what do you mean by a Bad Badger costume is missing?
Why, it's just what I said, sir. We're one Bad Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all times.
Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park...
The other should be in that room.
Actually, both of them should be in that room.
Huh? What do you mean?
Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's a stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park. And then the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir.
I'm speechless that such a show exists.
Well, sir, I was trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume.
And it doesn't make it near impossible to take a picture of the Then doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger?
Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to the showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I gonna do, sir?
All this basically means that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total.
Then are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers?
No, I don't think that's very likely.
Oh?
Recall the costumes for a minute.
The stolen ones, you mean?
What proves that a 4th kidnapper does not exist?
This one.
Take that!
If you had 4 people and you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a pink Badger costume instead?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is why? Let's take a look in the costume then. The
second Bad Badger costume. I believe it may be closer at hand than we think.
What do you mean?
That costume in the trash. Would you say it's wearing some very telltale pants?
Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of here and take a look.
As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume.
Well, mine is dead.
I would rest not expect every single... The gun's missing. Where's the picture? No, it doesn't show that. The gun, there it is. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency.
Between what?
Look carefully. Our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be.
Oh, the gun!
Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However... You there! Did you remove the gun from this Bad Badger's right hand?
No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume.
As I thought, the rib itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto Badger, the gun is, of course, not a functioning weapon, correct?
Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show.
It seems that our kidnappers have also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. I think we're about done with this room.
So what's next?
Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay.
March 13th, 3:44 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Mr. Edgeworth, sir. You gotta hurry, sir. Come on.
What is it, detective?
They found a blue badger costume down in the front of the main gate, sir.
What?
Isn't that one of the kidnappers? One of the kidnappers was wearing?
Bingo. That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before the Wolfblade does, sir.
Alright, let's make haste to the main gate. Away!
March 13th, 3:45 p.m. Cape Waterland main gate.
Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe?
Just on the other side of the fountain, sir.
Was it out here in the open all along?
No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out in order to examine it more thoroughly.
Then let's get down to it. I won't rest until I expected every suspicious looking granny. What do we have here?
Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby's made out of platinum silver too.
Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon? Is it possible that these two?
Hold it right there. Hands up, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence.
How can you tell?
Look here and read off what you see.
Lauren, hey! It's a name engraved on this.
Hey, Diggs, what's up? I'm playing the, third case of Ace Attorney Investigations 1. And as you can tell, it's the Collections Edition, in other words, the remastered. In beautiful HD graphics. With fully animated sprites and all. And well, I'm having fun doing a variety of voice work for these characters. Helps me practice my voice acting for roleplay purposes. And I say, it's quite the challenge coming up with a variety of different voices for a huge variety of characters that come about in this game. Especially the female ones, oh my god.
Ha! We have you now, Mr. Kidnapper.
No, you don't understand.
Oh shit, what was his voice again? I didn't voice him for that long.
Lolly, I can't believe you are one of my kidnappers.
Lance! You're kidding! Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes, it was me. I held Lance hostage.
So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over.
Hey, guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady. Hold it! Again, Mr. Prosecutor? What is it this time?
Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect.
We found it.
Found what? Found what?
An officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of the thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look how careless they are. Who are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon.
So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see.
And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking into the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor?
Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it.
Thanks for the confession.
Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed.
Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got a culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for?
Miss Lauren Pops,
Yes?
I want to hear it from you. Tell me on your side that all of this happened, that all of that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder.
But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough?
It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason you can't?
I've had a change of heart. I think I enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you have committed today.
Bring it, bitch.
And that, be right back.
Okay, we're back. Miss Pops' confession.
The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Amano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me.
There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes in a second time. As you have the guts to admit what you've done, I can at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth?
Yes, it is.
If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in our confession. How well did you know the victim?
I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house.
A few times, that's it?
Yes.
If they only met a few times, I don't see how they could have trusted each other.
But if you hardly ever talked, then how could he trust you not to steal his plan?
That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone he wasn't especially close to. Isn't that right, Sheena?
Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself.
Huh. Bet he didn't see that one coming.
Hold it!
You knew. How did you know something like that?
Oh no! What should I do?
Kay, what's wrong with her now?
Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face again, that's why. Why don't you try asking her in a nicer, more gentle way?
Huh.
No, stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's why you'll always be unhappy. Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare.
Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Pops, let's continue with your testimony.
Oh, yes, of course.
As soon as we got the money.
Hold it!
Why do you think he did?
I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops.
Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning. Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't think that's what you just claimed is all that likely.
Huh?
I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been incapable of killing you.
But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money.
Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you?
What do you mean?
You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. Okay, now which one do I present? Do I present his pendant or hers? Ah, they're connected. Deveray, Lauren Deveray. Okay. This one?
Take that!
Yeah, there we go. That is the right one. I didn't know whether to present the wings or the actual horse. And now I look at it, it's actually a full Pegasus. They just both have pieces of it.
Why are you showing this to me?
So what about the pendant? This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Take that!
Take that! These two pendants resemble each other. Wouldn't you agree?
Hey, you're right. They're the same color and they're even made of the same material.
I believe that these two pendants were actually one. Shall we give it a try?
Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's?
You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be.
Oh, what? No, that can't be.
So to make it set, it's just another trinket. It's not as though this changes anything.
You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well. I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant.
Hold on, let me double check. I guess I just give the dossier?
Take that!
Yeah.
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched on the horse pendant.
What? An alias?
I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. This specific section is what reveals— oh, god damn it, you skipped. It is what reveals the true meaning behind those pendants.
Yeah, Colin Deveray, male, Stole a gun from the guard. He might have for his wife and sole daughter.
Take that!
Mr. Deveray had one daughter. And her name is Lauren Pops.
That's a lie. That person was not my father.
He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the doctor he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? And what is so funny, Agent Lang?
You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you?
What are you trying to say?
You're thinking it's much too innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility.
Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Bring it.
Another possibility. I grant you the two of them are father and daughter. But it is impossible that they both knew that fact. It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. And the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan their little kidnapping. Would you say that my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
So this is his version of how things might have been.
You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right?
You mean they knowingly commit the kidnapping as father and daughter?
That's right. As one really rotten family.
Is that really what happened? I'd better take a long, hard look at the evidence. Which is right now.
I think it's because they were in costumes or something. That they didn't recognize each other.
You think they knew?
Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they pretended that they didn't.
Because he was the one on the lam?
You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore,
one as the butler and one as the friend of the son, you mean?
they probably thought it was their best shot.
Is that what you honestly believe?
Of course.
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives?
Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair.
The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were, in fact, family.
Yes, from the very beginning, they painstakingly practiced those roles well.
Hold it!
I believe you're being a bit too overconfident for someone with no evidence.
Am I? Because I don't see you presenting any evidence to the contrary.
Without evidence, we're stuck in a stalemate. Agent Lang is wrong. The scenario is certainly a probable one.
You better hurry up and do something or Lauren's gonna wind up looking really bad.
I know, but first things first, is Agent Lang's line of logic factually correct? Did the two of them really knowingly commit the crime as father and daughter?
I think I might just present the costume. This one.
Hold it!
Precisely, and what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter?
Go back!
I've seen a lot of things in my travels, and I can tell you that being related by blood is sometimes proof of nothing.
Hold it!
You think they knew? I guess.
Okay. For the rally. I think I presented here.
Objection!
No, that's wrong. No. Blah blah. You're growing my ego.
Hold it!
Wait, let me double check this one. Okay, no, it's already been done.
Objection!
No. Fuck. And, pretty nice that they have a variety of failed dialogue.
Hold it! Hold it!
Ah, there we go. Yeah. That's to prove that there's 3, not 2. The kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3?! 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout, and as for the other 3, we can assume that they were worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. This all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is a real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who? Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. Well, I guess I'll just go with Lance.
Take that!
Lance Armano?
Yes, this abduction was in fact schemed out by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us.
Did you see the face of your kidnappers? No.
No, I didn't see their faces, but 2. One was a woman.
However, there were 3 kidnappers, which in direct contradiction to what he said.
But I know I only saw 2 people.
This guy was being held hostage. It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them.
Ah, yes. About when you were being held, I have my doubts about what happened then. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive?
I really don't remember much anymore, honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you?
Lance's testimony. I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in that room, blindfolded the entire time. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. And my hands were cuffed, but it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran away from the room as fast as I could.
Through the underground passageway, I presume.
Are you okay?
Sorry, I didn't want to recall that horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right?
Not quite yet.
Ah, how can you not? Why do you look at me with such icy daggers in your eyes?
Because he's a prosecutor, and because they're all like that.
I'll have you know, Agent Lang, a prosecutor's eyes are for discerning the truth. And should they be interpreted to be cruel at times, then so be it. There's a sticking point of Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail?
It was a strange morning. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm.
And where were you experienced this calm?
Our family garden, of course. Where else could I have been?
Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more of a princess than a prince.
I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah. And then out of the blue, someone from behind clams her hand over my mouth.
You didn't see your attacker?
They must have used some drug to knock me out. Because before I knew it, I was off at La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout. Already, I'm all tied up.
Hold it!
By that room, do you mean the room in the kidnapper's hideout, correct?
Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know until I made my escape.
Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers.
They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely 2 people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared. I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare to make a move.
Hold it!
The kidnappers disappeared.
The room fell into a sudden silence. I had been left behind like an unwanted mutt.
And what do you mean by unwanted mutt?
What a pointless question. It's not like he's going to tell you anything new, you know. It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside.
but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well. My hand,
Hold it!
Then those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you are still cuffed in that case.
I am well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner.
Hold it!
How did you manage to escape?
I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading to the outside was locked. Which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape.
I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined.
Objection!
You say that the door leading outside was locked, but was it really?
We're talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard it took quite a few men to get that thing open. Right, Sheena?
Yes, that's correct.
Then take a look at this!
What is that? A sword? It's not especially reliable one if it's broken like that.
Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by the sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, why did you not simply remove the sword and escape?
Why didn't I?
Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it.
As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own.
You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder you've forgotten something very important along the way.
And what would that be?
A motive. What else? Do you honestly think that an upright pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself?
Objection!
Oh, but I do. This proves that Lance indeed have a motive to commit this crime. The letter.
Take that!
To put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance?
Ugh! Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh?
Alright, I give up. I'm talking to myself.
Lance!
It's over, Lolly. And that's life. We really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town. Somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million. But now that dream is over.
Oh, Lance.
Then you are giving yourself up?
Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back.
He turned on you.
Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside the room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the blue badger costume. And that would
mean that person Officer Meakin saw was Miss Pops.
But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then, Oliver put on a bad badger costume. Took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. They had no idea that they were related. So I thought it could end it badly. It could only end badly.
I don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if he was, I just killed my own father.
Holly, then it really was you.
Chain of events.
That man is not my father. I mean, because at that stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it. But that badger pointed a gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumbled to the ground, and I ran scared for my life.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you?
Nolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you. So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was?
If what she says is true,
Are you sure she's lying? Are you sure? Blah, fuck. Hold on. Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
you will be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Gary.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. Probably shot a model gun at him.
Hold it!
Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this.
But
All you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me?
alright. So, at the stadium,
Hold it!
That was the ransom money, wasn't it?
yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and run off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun.
Hold it!
Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth?
I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Pops, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time?
Yes, of course.
He's right-handed.
Objection!
I have here a dossier on your father. And according to this, your father was right-handed.
Then,
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon.
Knuckle back!
Hold it right there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that?
Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it.
Enough with the smugness. Out with it already.
Miss Pops told us earlier.
there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million in it.
According to you, the Bad Badger had a gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the bad badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its face.
But if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction.
Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong.
Both are correct.
They're both correct?
Impossible. That just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction.
Miss Pops' entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands.
Just rip for the badger. The missing model
Take
one?
that!
Yeah. Ah, shit. That's the wrong one. No, it's the other one. Oh, I think I was supposed to show the head.
Take that!
The costume have two parts to them, a head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Mouse saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, it is not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger. A different badger? Yes. Or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Pops saw— oh goddamn, stop skipping this shit. Belonged to this badger. Hold on, let me look at the— oh. Okay. Well, not the pink badger, obviously. He wasn't wearing any pants, so it was either the proto or the— was the proto or the— eeny meeny, is it the proto or the— I think it was the proto?
Take that!
What? The heck is it? It's the proto—
It's the proto badger.
yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pops was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one, yeah. And the pink badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that is left is the proto badger costume. Miss Pops, who was the one that wore the proto badger costume?
That would be Lance.
Shit. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon. On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pops while he was wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing that she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have to do all of that, huh?
There is but one reason, Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon.
What? No! That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now.
Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand?
I'm left-handed, but what does that have to do with anything?
It depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Ha! Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto Badger is bulletproof. One misfire, and he would have found himself dead, right?
Objection!
Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had a thought of that as well, and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you'd need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. There we go, now there's the gun. We found one half of a Bad Badger costume in the hideout. A broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the Bad Badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was, although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, Let's pretend that you're right, and that the murder at the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor?
I don't know yet.
Ha! I knew you were full of it.
However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please, wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained?
What Miss Pop saw.
I came back to the hideout after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after you two left, right?
We thought that it'd attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard the plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes, which means that the victim was still alive at that time. Wouldn't you agree?
Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail.
Hold it!
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we had picked up the ransom money.
And where were you at until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in various areas looking for the best route.
Ah, so each of them had their own roles to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout.
Hold it!
How did Lance look at the time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. And what of Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
Hold it!
You are sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I'm certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Oh wait, it could have been Edgeworth with the head on him.
Lance said it was best if we didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
Then are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slit in the door that separates the two rooms. He had the Bad Badger's head on, so I'm absolutely sure that it just had to be Mr. Deacon.
She saw a Bad Badger head.
Hold it!
So the tighter Mr. Deacon was still in his Bad Badger costume.
Yes, and?
It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? Yes. The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
I will tell you why not. With this, Miss Pop, shows us that the person you saw was not the victim.
Yeah, I think I just present the head.
Take that!
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all.
Huh?
The person you actually saw was me! It was me.
Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth?
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right?
There, alas.
You showed Miss Pops a person, namely me, with the Bad Badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together. Or so you pretended.
What do you mean, as he pretended?
Exactly that.
I believe Lance watched you escape and then doubled back to the hideout, probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison with a prop sword. He then escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of the prosecutor's mouth, Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave? We've heard a lot to come out of you, but have yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and his subsequent detainment. All that could have happened while you were out cold.
That's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor.
Even if that were the case, Miss Pops would still have seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared, Mr. Beacon. Deacon, I didn't go into the next room. So I really had no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, mate, it would seem that you can't prove a thing. Who said that?
Please wait.
Mr. Amano.
Ho ho ho, Mars, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not good to cause trouble for others.
Dad?
Let's see. You are the one in charge of the investigation, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you.
Oh, do you now? Is that what I think it is?
It's the bad badger costume the victim was wearing. And the gun!
I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears that they were disposed of in the sea.
Ugh, is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law?
Yeah. Now, Agent Lang, please calm down.
Huh? What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the Chief of Police. Please allow Mr. Amano to complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The Chief of the Police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
Ho, there. Now, there is no need to be so upset.
Huh, I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country.
No. This wasn't meant to strong-arm you into anything. It's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land.
Ugh, can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand, it doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence.
I've already got the results back. I had a special forensics research lab that I'm on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren.
What?
You disappointed me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find that final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason to push my poor boy around.
That's it? These are case-making pieces of evidence? Huh, I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest my eyes with every suspicious look at Granny. Could this couldn't be the actual murder weapon? The bullet hole.
It looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is a most important fact.
Why is that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. Huh? What's this? Looks as if something inside the costume's head.
Hey, they sparkle. I bet they're really valuable.
Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here?
Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you have ever seen?
Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there are fingerprints on on that murderous gun. And they prove that it was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was also after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgewood, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense.
The fingerprints on the weapon, huh?
Oh no, this isn't helpful at all. Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. But in the end, all I can do is watch on as she takes the punishment for her crimes.
That may be all you can do, however. I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unraveling your insidious lie.
You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even in the face of all this evidence?
Hold it!
Those fingerprints. Are you sure they belong to Miss Pops?
There's no mistake about it. Through my connections, I had the best forensics techniques money can buy performed.
I find that to be a bit peculiar.
What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me?
What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Pop's prints should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Pop's print should not be on the gun is because it's a fucking model gun.
Take that!
With this piece of evidence, there is no reason for her to have left prints at all. Oh, for fuck's sake. God damn it, I presented the wrong gun. God damn it. It was Lolly who killed Oliver.
Hold it!
Try again. Let me double check. Used to kill Deacon. Was originally stolen from guard by victim during escape. From a guard. Okay, that's a bit of a... Okay. This one.
Take that!
With this piece of evidence, fuck. Shit.
Hold it!
You sure calm for someone who's accusing his own girlfriend of murder.
You have it all wrong. Allowing her to pay the price is a form of love. She says that she also wants to pay back her debt to society, but... Which evidence is it? It's not this one, apparently. One at the time of shooting, gunpowder is from shot point blank.
Hold it!
Should not be on the gun is... I already used the revolver, so what else is there? I already presented this one and I already presented this one, so what is it? Should not be on the gun. This?
Take that!
No, fuck! What is it? Oh my god. Okay, wait, hold on, let me press the other ones first. And why do you believe that the victim was set on taking Miss Pops' life?
I suppose it's because he wanted to silence her. To keep her quiet, but she knows the truth behind the kidnapping.
In that case, why did he not target you as well?
That's because he knew that if he had killed me, he wouldn't be able to control my father.
Oh, right you are. Even if it cost me millions, I would have had the killer found.
I believe he didn't kill you for an entirely different reason, however, I digress.
Like more than why he didn't kill me. I'm worried about what will happen to Lolly.
His entire argument hinges on the fact that her fingerprints are on the gun. However, the truth does not lie there. It lies on whether he's fighting for me, but not for long.
Okay, so it is the smart. Okay, what the fuck? Her fingerprints should not be the. Oh, because they're wearing costumes, right? Oh, fuck. I did not realize that, yeah. Oh, because they were wearing costumes.
Take that!
Yeah.
It's simply not possible for Miss Pops to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pops was wearing a costume.
Huh?
But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints.
Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at all at any time?
Ah, yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back at the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house.
To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That is when Miss Pops' prints found their way onto the gun.
Ugh.
Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do not prove that Miss Pops is the murderer.
But you still don't have any to prove that she isn't the killer, right?
You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer.
Oh, Lance. What? No way, I'm incredibly worried about her. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right?
That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence.
What? How?
The story that Miss Pops killed the victim at the stage in the stadium. The whole affair is simply not true because that was not the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. The midriff fragments.
Oh, what the fuck? What? Oh, come on. What? How's that not the evidence? Oh my god. What? What the fuck? Happened at the stadium. The scenario where the victim was on the stage and then down below. There must be something that invalidates it. Was not committed at the stadium at all. What the fuck? How's that not there? Oh, okay. One of the time shooting. This one?
Take that!
Yeah.
Let us take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing, and I believe you'll see why I insisted he was not shot at the stadium. This is the part of the costume that proves it.
Take that!
The burn around this bullet hole was made when the victim was shot at point-blank range.
Ah, so then you mean the murder Miss Oldback saw at the stadium was.
Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from below the stage, then there shouldn't be a gunpowder burn.
Ah! Heh. Look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants Prosecutor. So you seem to know all the answers, why not tell us where the real crime scene is then?
Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were at just before I was in prison was... I've got it! I know where the real scene of the murder! I know the real scene of the murder. The real location in which Mr. Deacon was killed at is here. The haunted house.
Take that!
I think it's not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I have proof that it is highly likely that the victim was killed there. What proves that the real scene of the crime was the haunted house? The mirror
Take
fragments.
that!
These were inside the costume the victim was wearing, the fragments of a mirror. A mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed. You don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume.
Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous.
However, there's one place I can think of where there is a plethora of mirror fragments. And that is the haunted house. Lance Romano, I propose that you kill Mr. Deacon with the revolver in the haunted house. After that, you stole the Blue Badgermobile to move his body to the Wild Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badgermobile was stolen confirms this as fact.
Miles, my boy, say no more.
I'm sorry, Mr. Romano, but I cannot do that.
Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense.
Ernest Romano, correct? I meant you. Now be quiet, Gramps.
How dare you?
I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. And to call these mirror bits decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout?
Yes, there was a mirror there. A mirror that's for the haunted house.
You see? Isn't it possible the fragments got into the costume there? But Agent Lang, there was no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Lang Tzu says, on Truth's Pass, the word probability does not exist. The only thing that does is definitive proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is, do you have definitive proof if you need?
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you?
Do I have solid evidence that proves the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no.
See? So since you don't have any, shut up.
I don't have the evidence yet, but I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only people at the haunted house, besides myself, were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in connection to the murder.
What now, Mr. Edgeworth?
Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove to you that the scene of the crime was indeed the haunted house.
Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission?
Because I don't really have a choice if I want to find the truth.
Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single thing, got it?
That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is the truth to be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it is done, as long as it is.
Sheena? I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the authorization immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group's approval.
Who was that? No. Let's hold on for a second. There is no need to obtain approval.
Mr. Amado?
Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this.
What is this? Sheena? It's the deed to the haunted house.
The deed?
Read it out loud. Gatewaterland Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Amano for the lump sum of $1 million, paid in full cash.
What?
Oh, as you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house.
Are you kidding? When did you?
I ran into the owner of the park earlier, and we made a deal almost immediately. How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye.
That $1 million you paid? Don't tell me it was...
Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now.
You used the ransom money?
My Lance is a good boy. He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom money. That's the way things are. If you would please discuss things with me from now on.
Discuss? What is there to discuss?
Why, permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
While we were busy listening to Miss Lance's story, Mr. Armato was out there preempting us.
Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Lang, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry on home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper.
Mr. Armato definitely has the deck stacked in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave it like this, the truth will be lost forever.
March 13, 4:27 p.m. Gate Wonderland, main gate.
If I can't get permission to investigate the crime scene, then the truth will be lost.
Hold it, hold it, hold it!
Okay?
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing spacing out? Have you forgotten? There's one thing you should do at a time like this.
And what is that?
When people are in a bind, the hero of justice appears to save the day. Look, you just leave it to me. I am Brian K. Faraday, the second of the Grey Yatagarasu.
But I thought you were a thief, not a hero.
The Yatagarasu is noble and is always a thief of justice.
That's... of course.
If you have enough information, I can recreate the inside of the haunted house with this. Plus, if we then factor everyone's testimony,
You can recreate exactly what happened when I dropped off the ransom money. We may be able to figure out some new information through this. It's worth a try. Agent Lang?
So you want to use your little toy? Be my yes.
okay, hang on. You're all about to witness the true power of real modern-day Robin Hood.
Detective Gumshoe, is there a copy of the haunted house's blueprints among the police's reference documents?
Yes, sir. We got that just in case we needed it for the kidnapping case.
Alright, I'll input the haunted house data then.
What is this? Where are we?
It's like we're inside the haunted house.
Even if we can't inspect the real location itself, the path to the truth slumbers here. If I can successfully navigate my way using logic, I'll ultimately arrive at the truth. Now then, I believe I'm ready to investigate the crime scene.
Okay, what should I recreate first?
You haven't figured it out yet?
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. But I'm going to make you do all the hard work.
Very well. I would like to inspect the moment in which I was ambushed by my inductor. The two of them were definitely in this place at that time. If I can verify that, it may provide me with a new lead. I had just come out into the hallway after leaving the money inside the dining room. At that time, I saw a badger slumped over on the floor at the end of the hall.
Eh? What was the badger doing all the way down there?
I also thought it strange. However, I thought maybe it was simply a mannequin that was set there for atmosphere.
Do you know which badger it was?
No, it was too dark to tell. All I saw was its silhouette.
In that case, I guess I'll just program a badger silhouette in for now. Okay, programming complete.
Then I started walking towards the exit. And that's where...
And that's where you were struck from behind, right?
Yes.
But that's odd. The hallway is a dead end. Where did your assailant come from?
There's only one location I could think of. I believe my assailant was lying in wait here.
The dining room?
Take that!
Well, what do you think, Mr. Edgeworth? That's a terrible hiding spot. You have to be a real ninja to get away with hiding there.
That was not exactly the nuance I was trying to convey.
Oh, shit. Fuck! I thought it was, This?
Take that!
That doll I saw wasn't really a doll, it was in fact a costume kidnapper.
Oh, so you used the costume as a perfect camouflage to blend with the rest of the house.
Precisely. He waited until I had made the drop-off and was about to leave. Then, just as he saw me take a step towards the exit, he stood up and launched his attack. I can think of no better hiding place than this.
Hey, not bad. I'm beginning to think I should steal this tactic for myself.
Just don't use it to do anything criminal, Kay. Well, Lance?
What? What are you asking me for?
As one of the kidnappers, I figured I should give you the chance to confess first.
I was one of the kidnappers, but I don't know anything. I did come up with a haunted house. Up to the haunted house, but I never set foot inside. I left Oliver in charge of the picking up the ransom money.
You didn't set foot inside? Is he telling the truth, or is this another lie? Alright, then you're claiming that it was Mr. Deacon who assaulted me.
Yes, I'm sure it was him. Okay, inputting new info now. Mr. Deacon was the Bad Badger, right? Since the Bad Badger has a gun attached to its right hand, I'll have it changed to the weapon in its left hand.
Now to verify the facts of this recreation... Haunted house. You didn't recreate the weapon.
Well, I can't exactly recreate something I know nothing about. So tell me, what were you hit with?
The attack came from behind, so I have no idea. But I doubt it was someone's bare hands.
Okay, where were you hit?
I was hit on the right side of my head, just above my temple. There was a bit of blood, but it wasn't anything serious.
Ouch, sounds painful.
Why are you smirking like that when you say it?
It's just your imagination. Now, let's see. I wonder if there's anything in the hallway that could have been used as a weapon. I'm looking for something the culprit would have used to hit you with.
Take that!
I have it. There was indeed one such object lying here in this hallway. A prop sword.
Are you talking about this thing here?
Yes, although we did not find it at the kidnapper's We did find it at the kidnapper's hideout. Wait, yes, it's possible that the culprit took it with him after using it on me.
To leave no evidence behind, right?
Correct. It may be worth a more thorough examination yet.
Okay, so what test do you want to run on this sword?
Test with luminol. The culprit was wearing a costume at the time, so a fingerprint analysis is useless. Let's run a luminol test. It's possible that some of my blood found its way onto this. Agent Lang, may I please ask for your cooperation in this matter?
Now you have a choice. Sheena, call the lab boys.
Understood.
Except for the dab on the left side, it would appear that the blade is spotless.
So it would have been on the left side of the prop sword that hit you then, right? Okay, I'll update the recreation with this new piece of info.
I won't rest until I've expected every suspicious looking cranny.
And in the next instant, this badger will swing his left arm, complete with weapon in hand.
Yes, the club B with the left side of the prop sword.
Shall I recreate the moment of impact? I want to see that pain expression on your face.
It's just fine the way it is. Wait, maybe not. Is it just my imagination, or is something not quite right?
You know, the Bad Badger is pretty bad looking when you see him up close.
Well, what did you expect from a character named the Bad Badger?
And those sunglasses, wearing them in the dark makes him seem extra bad.
Now I've lost. Which meaning of bad does she really mean? It's me. I have to say it's rather embarrassing to see myself like this.
Oh, so what you were thinking about at the time?
I don't recall, but I would guess I was thinking about the kidnapping.
Really? Because I don't think so at all. Your face practically screams, I'm about to be conked over the head.
If I had known that at the time, do you think I would have let myself be hit?
Hit me in the right temple. But this would have hit me in the left.
Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold?
Eureka!
Finally, I found a clear contradiction of the facts about the sword. Except for a bit on the left side, this prop sword is absolutely spotless. However, the culprit had used his left hand, the blood will be on the opposite side.
The opposite side, huh?
If the culprit held the sword in his left hand, then the sword's right would hit.
I see, but the blood was on the left side of the sword, right? Which means that he used his right hand to hit you.
Exactly. This prop sword has a large handguard attached to the hilt. It would be impossible to hold it with two hands while wearing a costume with such big hands. Therefore, it couldn't be left hand or both hands. It must have been right.
I'll change the data to reflect a right-handed swing.
Not yet, Kay. There's no sense in changing anything yet. If you could change the parameters to the right hand, it would only create a new contradiction. Changing the prop sword to be in the culprit's right hand would conflict with what?
Take that!
The Bad Badger already holds a gun in his right hand, so he can't hold a sword in addition.
Hey, that's right. Then what now? If it wasn't his left or his right hand...
It means that the one who struck me could not have been the Bad Badger. Are you paying attention, Lance? Mr. Deacon could not have been the one who struck me, which only leaves you as our primary suspect.
Fine, it was me, I hit you.
It appears that you lied to me yet again, but you see how quickly they catch up to you, Lance.
Wait, isn't Lance left-handed?
Ah, yes, but that's what makes his deception all the more interesting. He used his right hand to make it look like Mr. Deacon had been the one to strike me. But for you see, firing a gun with one's non-dominant hand is difficult. But that level of dexterity isn't required to swing a prop sword. Okay, please input this new data. The one who hit me was from behind was Lance. Or should I say, the Proto-Badger.
You got it. Here I go.
Now we have a faithful recreation of the situation around the attack on me.
Alright, all we have to do is examine this new recreation and...
And what exactly is so funny, Agent Lang?
That amusing little gadget. It sure packs a punch, right, Sheena?
Yes, that was all I could do to hold my laughter in. Hey, don't make fun of Little Thief. You mean old werewolf? He and Mr. Edgeworth bring out the best in each other.
You had your little fun, but now it's my turn. I've sat quietly by listening. But the crude conclusion you two keep spewing don't whet this wolf's appetite. There's no guarantee that your toy will always show the real situation at any given time. All it displays is whatever information you put in there, right?
Well, when you put it that way.
Your suppositions are wrong. It's not your fault, so I'm gonna let you in on this. There is a trick to this haunted house.
And what may that be exactly?
A trick beyond what your tiny imaginations can produce. Sheena?
Here you are.
Now then, what you missed, girlie? It's written right here in this pamphlet.
The 7 Wonders of the Haunted House. The Disappearing Badger.
What's this?
I'd say someone around here is a fond of theatrics. As you can see, they set a doll down at the end of this hallway for that purpose. Basically, the Blue Badger we saw was just a stupid doll.
How can this be?
Guess that throws your whole theory about it being your attacker right out the window.
But that can't be right. Maybe the culprit hid the doll somewhere. And then he laid down and pretended to be it instead.
If the criminal couldn't even hide himself in the hallway, how could he hide a giant doll? Do you get it now? Thanks to your presumptions. Yours started off weak and led you in the completely wrong conclusion. Now get off your high horse.
Mr. Edgeworth?
Okay. I wonder if you could please input the new information for me.
You don't know when to quit, do you?
I can't quit, not until I can declare that I found the truth. Agent Lang, for the additional information, you have my thanks.
There you go again. Well, see if I care.
Okay, I'm updating the recreation now. That looks really weird. I like it how it changes from the blue badger into the proto badger all of a sudden.
If this slumped over badger was just a doll, where was my attacker hiding?
Well, that's where we're going to find out, right? So come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go.
Yes, let's. This recreation can't be right, which means there must be a contradiction somewhere.
This is where the proto badger shows up in our recreation.
Yes, now the question is, where did he come from?
Yeah, but there's no place to hide in our current model.
There must be an inconsistency somewhere. Pieces of a set of armor in a pile here.
Why do you think they always have sets of armor inside haunted houses?
I suppose this sort of interior design is meant to bring out a sense of abnormalcy.
Why do your explanations have to be so hard to understand, Mr. Edgeworth? Now try explaining it again, but this time so that even a thief like me can get it.
That may prove to be a most difficult task. I won't rest until I inspected every looking cranny. This blue badge is just a doll for use in this haunted house.
I bet the one who killed this blue badger was the bad badger, right?
According to the Blue Badger Bible, it says that they are each other's worst enemy.
Not because one's an ally of justice and the other's a vile criminal with a gun.
Perhaps they were destined to battle with each other, much like the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate.
Gable lands with the mysteries on the disappearing badger. It was slumped there. broken props. Alright. Wait, let me double check. Wait, hold on. Let me. Okay. Because it was a doll. When the time of shooting, the gunfire. What contradicts that? This is a complete contradiction of the evidence. Well, maybe it's not a complete contradiction.
Hold on, Mr. Edgeworth, which is it? Is it a contradiction or not?
Sorry, fuck. There's something wrong with this scene. That much I know for sure. Or maybe it's just a trick of the eye. No, that can't be it. This?
Eureka!
Fuck. Nope. No, it's by the window. Oh man, I just stumped on this one.
do I do? What do I point out? I'm actually stuck on this one. I have no idea what to go from this. I actually have no idea. Yeah, I'm gonna switch it up. I have no idea what happened. Okay. Oh, it's that? Oh, okay. Hold on a second there. There's something wrong with this blue badger.
Huh? Like what?
The way the belt is on him is the opposite of how it should be. Did you make a mistake?
That can't be. I inputted the image of the data exactly as it is in the pamphlet.
So then why is the blue badger dressed up in reverse? Oh, I see. The blue badger in the pamphlet photo is in reverse to the regular blue badger. But why? There must be some sort of explanation.
When you take a look around, it almost feels more like a house of mirrors.
Indeed. Who's ever heard of this many mirrors inside of a haunted house before?
At least you know that this is the real crime scene thanks to the mirror shards. Hey, wait. These shards. There's something different about them.
Oh?
The ones we found earlier are thicker than the shards from these mirrors on this wall. Hey, and look! There's some sort of design on the back too.
The pieces from the costume are certainly different from the other mirrors. What does this mean? Could it be that our pieces are not the pieces of these mirrors? It's a reflection. Okay, do you remember what you said earlier?
What I said earlier about what?
About how this building might have been a house of mirrors?
A house of mirrors. Oh! That would explain the reverse or mirror image.
Yes, this blue badger might be nothing more than a reflected image of the real one.
And was the blue badger you saw just a reflection?
When I looked down the hall, I thought it was perfectly straight. However, if there was a mirror...
Oh, then it would actually form an L shape, right?
Precisely. I was deceived. The hallway was almost pitch black. And there was a beam in the way that obstructed my view of the other hallway.
Wait, but why build a place like that? It sounds pretty pointless to me.
Okay, this house is just another attraction at an amusement park. They create a mirror wall for a specific purpose, very specific purpose, one that I can point out to you. This was the reason they built a mirror wall. The attraction?
Take that!
And it's written in the pamphlet, the main draw of this attraction is the mystery of the disappearing badger.
You mean they built the mirror for that trick alone? But you said you saw the badger, so it was definitely still there.
That was true at the time, however. Doing this allows someone to make a blue badger disappear in a flash. Move the mirror wall. To remove a reflected image, simply move the mirror. First, the mirror was constructed so that it could be moved. Then beyond where the mirror was, an empty hallway had to be created.
Oh, so then when they wanted people to see the blue badger, they would open the mirror.
And then when they wanted to hide it, they simply had to close it again. And that explains why the other side of these fragments have a design on them.
Ah, if the pattern is the same as the other walls in this hallway.
Then, when the mirrors close, it would blend in with the rest of the walls. This is the mirror trick that this haunted house employs. And this also proves the existence of a hiding place for the culprit.
Huh? How so?
Think about it, Kay. There was a place that was outside of my field of vision. The culprit kept out of sight by hiding in here. By hiding there.
Take that!
I'm not sure I kept out of line. Oh, fuck, I pointed to the wrong thing. Shit!
I pointed to the wrong thing. I got it the other way around. Here.
Take that!
There was a very large blind spot, one I could not see beyond, and it was here. If my assailant hit on the other side of the movable mirror, then you wouldn't be
able to see him.
You didn't
need to do anything to the blue badger doll.
Exactly. All you had to do was wait for me on the other side of the mirror.
Wait, hold on. I just thought of something.
Yes?
Well, shouldn't the mirror wall be broken right now, in reality?
Since we have a few shards of it, we can probably assume it is. Yes, it most definitely is broken. The question is, when it was broken. Since we found the inside of the victim's costume, that would mean that the victim was there when the mirror was broken. Wait, that sound. Leave the money and go, now. That sound I heard is most definitely the sound of a mirror breaking. Okay, I would like you to input some new information.
Ah, don't scare me like that.
Sorry, but I need you to recreate something for me.
Sure, whatever you need, so do what you need anyway.
If you could first recreate this hallway just before I entered the dining room.
You got it.
Now, this. I believe this is how it was right before I entered the dining room. Although at the time I thought it was about a single straight hallway. And then when I went inside, it was around then I heard the sound of a mirror shattering.
You heard what? Then...
Yes, I believe it was then that the mirror was broken.
Okay, so then when you stepped outside onto the hallway again...
The mirror wall should no longer exist, Kay. Please, recreate that.
Got it. Wait, but with the mirror gone, the culprit has lost his hiding spot. So where did he go in this proto-badger suit, Mr. Edgeworth?
Huh, that's easy enough. With the mirror gone, he simply hid himself in the branch hallway.
I think this about wraps it up. Looks like you finally solved everything.
No, not yet. An even larger contradiction has now reared its head.
Huh?
Perhaps you did not notice. But this recreation contains a very troubling inconsistency. The inconsistency between what I saw and the recreation lies.
Okay,
So, okay, broken mirror.
Wait, can I not? Oh, I can't. Shit.
Take that!
Here! Ah, fuck, I screwed it up. Nope, loading.
Take that!
No. Here.
Take that!
Yeah. Okay, take a good look at the end of the hall.
Oh, there's no blue badger there.
Exactly, the blue badger I saw in reality is not here. This is the final point on this long chain of logic, the last remaining contradiction.
So let me get this straight. When you came out of the dining room, you saw the badger, right?
And that is precisely where the final contradiction lies. Something that shouldn't exist was there before me. Who or what do you suppose it was? I believe that this is the real identity of our mystery badger. Oh god, I hope I get this right. Alright.
Take that!
This is what I really saw this. Fuck!
Ah, god damn it!
Like, what evidence what am I supposed to use? Oh my god, to do this shit again. I hate it because I'm on 1 bar of health. Oh my god.
Take that!
Okay. Okay, let me save here, yeah, because I don't want to go all the way back. Okay. Okay. The real identity.
Take
This
that!
one? Ah, God damn it. How am I supposed to point that out? Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. Oh my god, this is so hard. Why is it so difficult? Oh my god. What evidence do I use? The real identity of our mysterious badger. Okay. Do I use profiles?
Take that!
The badge I saw was in actuality the dead victim's body. Yeah. What? Agent Lang, the entirety of my complete logic is my final decisive piece of evidence. The murder happened in the hallway of the haunted house at the time of the drop-off, and you can consider the moment I heard the mirror breaking to be the real time of death for Mr. Deacon. No! Maybe it was due to their fighting, or perhaps it was a life-shattering bullet. But no matter what the cause was, the hallway mirror wall was broken. You were in the house at the time, right? Are you telling me that you misread the sound of a gunshot?
Objection!
There were a variety of sound effects playing at the time. All for theatrics, I assume. The gunshot must have blended right in. Now then, I'd like you to call something for me. Who was it that was the victim at the haunted house? Was the one who had the opportunity to rob the victim of his gun and use it on him? It was you, Lance Romano. Damn. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Holy shit. The mirror bit kinda screwed me over.
It sounded like I had a choice. Oliver turned me on me all of a sudden. He snapped and turned violent right after I hung up with you. He shoved me to the ground and straddled me. I fought back as hard as I could and grabbed his gun and I shot him. The bullet must have went through his body and shattered the mirror. If I hadn't taken his gun and shot him first, I would have been the one you found. He's a hardened criminal. He's escaped from jail. See, that's justified self-defense.
My boy was only trying to protect himself.
That remains to be seen, and will have to be resolved in court. Agent Lang, I'll leave the rest to you. As if you were the one in charge around here. Guys, arrest these two and get them out of my sight.
Wait! I had nothing to do with the murder. The only person you should be arresting is Lance.
Dad!
Sorry, but you're not slipping away that easy, Mr. Ernest Romano. You tampered with the evidence so you could cover for your son. What a great dad you are, willing to risk it all. Truly touching.
Duh!
By the way, do you know why I'm really here?
How could I possibly know the answer to such an asinine question?
You and me.
I came all the way from across the sea just to see you, you know?
You came to see me?
What's that supposed to mean?
I have a few things to ask you, Mr. Romano, about a case from 10 years ago.
A case from 10 years ago?
Oh, what's the name that you used here for that case? Sheena?
It's known as the KG8 incident.
The KG8 incident?
Oh, so you remember it? Good. And you'll recall that the trigger in that case was the Amano Group scandal. Specifically, the charge of an internal smuggling ring.
Smuggling. There's that word again.
At the time, the person that was arrested as the ringleader was Mr. Amano's very own secretary, Mr. Colin Deveray.
Ah, Father!
Even though you pushed the crime onto your then secretary, Mr. Deveray, I suspected that you were involved with the smuggling ring, Mr. Amano. Mr. Deveray was arrested in place of you, which is why when he broke out, you hid from the police, right? You hid him in exchange for his silence on your little dirty secret.
No. Please calm down. I honestly have no idea what you're talking about.
Pretend to be ignorant all you want. We're taking you down to the precinct anyway for a nice long chat. What the? Who the heck was that? Oh. I'll take you down to the precinct if you don't mind. And who the heck are you? I'm Jacques Sportsman, and I'm the prosecutor in charge of this case.
Oh, Jacques, thank goodness you're here.
Don't jerk me around. This is an Interpol case, so keep your paws on my suspect. Sorry, but I can't comply. I've got the backing of the prosecutor's office. See, in this country, we prosecutors work with the police to bring cases to the court. So if you could please cooperate with me here, that'd be great. Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? Sorry, but I hate prosecutors, the whole lot of you. Guys, arrest the two suspects.
Sir.
Oh, I almost forgot. Mr. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, is it? I'd like to thank you.
Thank me?
Yeah, for working so hard to fulfill my goal.
Hey, is that any way to thank someone? And what the heck is that supposed to mean?
You were so relentless with Lance that you forced Ernest to tamper with the evidence. Thanks to that, I finally had a legitimate reason to arrest him. So how does it feel to bite the hand that feeds you?
The hand that feeds me. I'm not sure I follow.
Huh, it's no use pretending with me. You're the one, right? You're the corrupt prosecutor that's working for Mr. Romano and that smuggling ring, right?
No, I would never do such a thing.
What the heck? Untail's never wrong. In your prosecutor's office, there's definitely someone working with the ring.
Ah, so Ancient Man suspected my relation with Mr. Romano.
And that's Jacques Portman, not Edgeworth. That's what we figured out.
That must have been the real reason behind his antagonistic attitude.
On top of that, your mentor was Manfred von Kammer, right? There were non-stop rumors flying around about forged evidence with that guy. So you're not twisting the truth behind those closed courtroom doors too, are you?
The courtroom is a place where the truth is revealed.
Well, don't worry. It's not only you. The whole lot of you can't be trusted. A prosecutor who never lost in 40 years. Every defendant must be found guilty. Fueled by that kind of thinking, it's any wonder that the courtrooms produce nothing but falsities and lies.
It would seem that his disdain extends beyond just me. Prosecutors, the courts. Why is this man so angry with us all?
Rest assured, the next time we meet, I'll be so forgiving. So don't you forget it.
Please wait. Agent Sheena. Why does Agent Lang hate all prosecutors so?
Lang is the head of the long-honored House of Lang in Zhengfa. The heads of all the police-related divisions in that country were all of Lang blood.
Were? What do you mean by that? Aren't they still?
They were revered, but that was long ago. They don't hold that sort of sway anymore. And it was all because of the courts.
How can that be?
Our prosecutor once withheld and tampered with the evidence one of Lang's detectives found. That evidence purity was tarnished and cost the Lang's family its honor and trust.
But not all prosecutors are like that.
Even so, Lang will never respect the court again, or any prosecutor.
So Agent Lang is a man who hates all courts and is unwilling to forgive prosecutors.
Man, what a piece of work that guy is. Come on, Jim, we better catch up.
Yeah.
We still gotta deliver that thing to the old man after all.
Detective Gumshoe? I believe it's time we wrapped up and headed out ourselves.
Yeah, are you going home, Mr. Edgeworth?
No, I've done nothing but be entangled in one mess after another since my return. If it's alright with you, can you drop me off at my office?
No problem, sir.
Excuse me.
Yes? What is it?
That is... Thank you very much.
It's okay. No need to thank me, pal. Just doing my job as a detective.
I guess I was fooled pretty badly by Lance. Oh, cruel fate! What's a woman to do when she's been hurt by the one she loves? And to think I never realized my father was right there. I never said anything to him. I knew it. I'm a failure.
Ah, there she goes again, talking to herself.
Miss Potts, I wonder if you know why your father participated in the kidnapping?
No, I have no idea.
Your father died while he was trying to stop Lance, which means that from the beginning he had no intention in the staged self-abduction.
Wait, then why did he?
I believe it was because of your presence, Miss Potts.
Me?
Lance realized that the two of you were related, which is why he used you as a hostage to coerce Mr. Devray into cooperating.
Father?
As a felon, he could not tell you of his real relation to you. However, as of the amount of family butler, at the very least, he was able to watch over you. It was all he could do, but that was the shape of his overflowing love for you. Go on, speak your mind.
That is... Thank you very much.
You're welcome, although there is no need to thank me.
No, Lauren, stop. I mean, this man's so much older than you.
Looks like you completely stolen her away, Mr. Edgeworth. Way to go, sir.
Your technique is way beyond the level of a great thief.
What are you going on about now?
Wow, your deducing skills may be sound, but you have no street smarts. That's Mr. Edgeworth for you. Yeah, I mean he still hasn't figured out who I am at all. If you haven't remembered in all this time, I guess I'm gonna have to say it. This isn't the first time we met, you know? What do you mean, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, how do you know this girl? Looks like you totally forgot me too, Gummy. Gummy? Here, maybe this will jog your memories. I promise I returned this to you one day, remember?
That single piece of cloth took me back far into my past. To think that fateful day 7 years ago, when I first met the then child Kay and Detective Gumshoe.
Oh man, that was a doozy with the mirror bullshit. Oh my god. That was such a subtle detail that screwed me over. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Yep, turnabout reminiscence. Well, I'm gonna end the stream here. We will continue the case in the next one. Farewell for now.